Hi, you guys. You're probably wondering how I'm going to read with a glass of beer in one hand and a napkin in the other. I forgot to bring anything to read, so I listened to Alan Black. He said a writer has sitting on the bar stool, and I did that. And I drank a beer at the, what was it called? Edinburgh Castle? Okay. So I've been doing one thing or another with Litquake ever since 2002. And I forgot to bring anything to read. I was under the impression that we were supposed to give you some zany anecdotes about our time at Litquake. And I've done one thing or another every year since 2002, I think. And there was lots of those zany moments that came to mind. The one that I want to tell you guys about tonight, let me set it up a little bit by telling you that I used to run the San Francisco Writers Workshop, and there was a woman who came to the workshop named Leanne Lewis, and she was reading her memoir about her years as a dominatrix, and it was a brilliant piece of work, guys. We would laugh, we would cry, we were amazed at the insights that came out about in the course of her reading of this book, and just the language and everything was great. I really loved that piece of work. The one thing was, she kind of hesitated once in a while and squinted at her piece of paper, and it should have occurred to me that maybe the lights were too low, and maybe lights being low is something you should think about when you're about to do a reading. But I guess it passed through my mind, and a short time later, I did some event for Litquake, and I did it here. So I had my paper in front of me, maybe it was 6 or 7 pages. And the first thing I realized is, shit, I should have brought a flashlight. Because I could hardly read what I was looking at. I started my reading, the next thing I realized was, shit, I probably shouldn't have printed this thing with a cartridge that was running out of ink. And that made me nervous enough that I kind of fumbled and I dropped a couple of pieces of paper. And I picked them back up again. And that's when I realized, holy crap, I should have numbered the pages. So I did the best I could, but it was no use. I dropped the whole fucking sheaf of paper. And I gathered them up and I picked them up. And that's when I realized it was probably a mistake to print what I was going to read on the flip side of a previously edited version of the same thing. So that was it. I was really fucked. All I could do, I knew my story, So I just said, oh well, and I told the rest of my story. And in a way, I think I learned something from that, but here's what I want to tell you first before I put that out there. Then I went back to the San Francisco Writers Workshop a few weeks later, and Leanne was there with her manuscript, and I was sitting there, as it happened, next to her as she was reading, and this time I was able to look over her shoulder and see the paper from which she was reading this brilliant thing. And you know what? She wasn't reading what was on the page. This amazing stuff that was coming out of her mouth as she was sitting there reading to us in the pose of a writer, she was making that up on the spot, and we who were there in this workshop were hearing it for the first and last time that it would ever be told. So then I said, it doesn't matter that much if you got your piece of paper or not. Just tell your story and drink your beer. And thank you. Yeah.